towards where Davy Rogers is up. Rogers swings the left. Oh, Davy Rogers! What a goal by Davy Rogers!
Not one person in this stadium has seen this goal at half-time.
We can see the guards behind the goal at the main stand. They will be investigating Shelbourne for robbery. They have absolutely mugged the Treaty United here at Tottenham.
Roberts find the goal! Harry Wood, the jersey's off. 6 minutes to...
Look at the back one! What a goal that is!
Hi folks, welcome to another LOI talk with plenty of games to go through. The games that happened last week, the games that happened this week, so there is plenty to be said here. And I have the right panel. I have Cornell, my good friend Cornell. How are you today?
Oh, I'm very well, Victor. Very well indeed.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hear your insights and also to listen from you, Andrew Lanigan. Welcome to this podcast.
Thank you, Vitor. Yeah, looking forward to talking everything League of Ireland. It's great, a great league. It's great to see how much the league is on the rise, and it's been a great start to the season. Everyone taking points off each other games. That's why everyone loves the league. So, everyone taking points off each other, and yeah, look forward to talking the League of Ireland.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, you are a big Pats fan, but it's already visible on your shirt, so nothing to hide.
Yeah, I'm a St. Patrick's Athletic fan, so I follow Pats home and away. I also have my own podcast where I talk about everything Pats as well. It's called Everything Pats. I mean, I don't know if any of you are familiar, who was watching, or any of you guys. Me and my friend, Everything LOI, he's on TikTok as well, on Twitter. We record a podcast every week about St. Patrick's Athletic, talk everything St. Patrick's Athletic, and then I'm also on TikTok as well, so we upload League of Ireland videos, League of Ireland matchday vlogs, League of Ireland opinions, stuff like that as well on TikTok. So
yeah, I will put the link in the description for those who are interested. So yeah, no problem. And we need to help each other. And so I'm very eager for this conversation. It seems it's not just me. There are already comments just before we started the show. So our good friend Dave Roycroft, who discovered us last week, just said a bit like waiting for the open the gifts on Christmas when you are a kid. Can't wait for this show to start. Wow, if that's not a compliment, I don't know what it is. Yeah. Well, what else we have here? The best time of the week is nearly here. It's happening. It's happening. Best time of the week. I couldn't agree more. John, back again from my second week of the show. There's more to come, my friend. Here's Dave again. Chaos in the league. Yeah, but a lot of entertainment, I'd say. And here we go. Yeah, that's the word. Here we go. Here we go. So, guys, if you enjoy this show and you know someone who haven't heard of it, please share, because that's how these things get distributed. And if you really like us, the way to express that, the best way to express that is with a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, that's also a very good way of helping us. So let's jump to the games, because I know there's a lot to be said. And let's start with what for me was a surprise. That one. Bohemians not only beating Waterford, but beating by 3 goals. So were you also surprised, or it was just me, Cornell?
I was very surprised when I saw the scoreline and I saw it said Bohemians 3, Waterford 0. This really surprised me. Absolutely surprised me. One of the best games I've ever seen. I mean, Colburn Whelan, honestly, to score a brace and forward slash a hat trick. I think this is one of the best moments for him as a goal scoring machine, for him to score the goals and to make the team of the week in the FC 25, which I'm very pleased. Really, to be fair, but honestly, yeah, fantastic result for Waterford. Waterford wasn't even expecting that, for them to basically go on and lose. But look, Bohemians needed the win, because they did, and they lost the previous game. And they had to win, and you know I'm pleased for Bohemians right now. I think they can go on and kick on and get more results under their wing.
So I haven't watched the game myself, but I think I know already who was the man of the match based on this comment. Combe, Welland 3, Waterford 0. That's the man that we need to highlight here. Waterford collapsed in initial fit of frustration and only fed the fire as the game went on. What are your thoughts on this game, Andrew?
Yeah, I seen the highlights back. I didn't watch the full game. Obviously, I was at the Pats and Rovers game. But in fairness to Bows, Waterford have had a great start to the season. And Bows rocking up to Waterford and turn them over 3-0 is a pretty mad one. But it didn't really surprise me in a way because Bows, they're such a 1 week they can turn it on and beat the best teams in the league. And then another week they could go lose the bottom of the league. That's just Bows in a nutshell. Seeing like Bows have a very good team. Their midfield is strong as anything. Noel Moore, Ross Tierney, Dawson Devoy, and then bringing in Colin Whelan, who's a goal scorer. Bows have been missing a goal scorer or a striker the past few years, and looks like they've landed the big time bringing him in from Derry. Hat-trick last week against, let's be real, a good Waterford team. Waterford started the season off very well, beating Sligo first game of the season, going up, beating Derry in the Brandywell. So they're no mugs, Waterford, and Bows going down to URSC and turn them over like that comfortably enough, like, is mad. Is very, very, very interesting. An interesting result, but you never, like, as I said, Bows very inconsistent. So, for example, they could go lose 4-0 to Pats tomorrow. No one would be surprised. It's just the way of Bohemians personally. But no, a very good result for Bows. They needed that because I think they'd lost their previous 2 or 3 games, and they needed that to kickstart something for them, hopefully, tomorrow night. Not for me, but for Bows, tomorrow. They needed that to kick on for the rest of the season.
Yeah. We have a fan here saying, "Don't be fooled by that game. We are horrible." So This guy is very prudent. He doesn't want to be boosted after this result. He's playing safe, and maybe that's why. I think the reason is both they're not that consistent, so they don't want to be overconfident. John is mentioning again Muse, who may be the flop of the season. Would you guys relate to this comment?
Yeah, I think I do remember John Brennan asking about Mose, is he going to be a flop this season or not? And I've always said that Mose, I think, needs a bit more time to fit in the League of Ireland. But I think the way that we're seeing it now, it looks like he's going to be a flop right now. So I think, look, I mean, Aaron Reynolds has said that he wants to get the very best out of Mose, but then I think I said last week, this hype and everything else surrounding Mose, I think is not looking good right now. And obviously with Colin Whelan obviously scoring a brace, now he's more likely to push him out. So I would definitely say yes. I think Mose is looking like a flop, but I think give it a couple of more games and then I think we'll see the very best of Mose. But I think for me right now, I think Whelan is looking more likely to push him out of the team and make sure that he's out of that starting 11 for me.
Yeah. Any hope for Muse, Andrew, or do you think he will be known for the bad reasons?
Yeah, see, it's hard to judge, but also, like, I think people are quick to jump to conclusions. We're only 5 games into the season, 5 or 6 games, match weeks into the season, and seeing Muse, he had a very good record, and obviously £10 million signing in the Premier League. Obviously, his career has fallen off. He went to Bochum in Germany, and then he loved off the field issues apparently as well, and that hasn't helped his career, and that's how he's landed at Bows. I think a lot of Bows fans, when he was on trial with them initially, and then they decided to sign him. But Alan Reynolds, even the Bows managers, came out and said they need to give him time in terms of building up his fitness, etc., because he's not fit enough for them apparently. Yeah, and I've watched a bit of him in the first few games. Like, he doesn't look fit at all. But I think it's harsh enough to judge him after 5 games, to be honest, or call him a flop. There's plenty of time to go, and I think he will probably grow into it for Bows. Colin Whelan's a great signing, but I think Muse, like, it would not surprise him if he does grow into it. Like, he has the capability. So yeah.
So Aaron is just reinforcing what we just said, that they are quite inconsistent, and maybe Reynolds is not the right person to manage the team. We were even trying to bet last week who is going to be the first to be sacked, and Reynolds was one of the favorite candidates. So it might happen. Let's move to the next game, because I know there's a lot to be said here. Derry Derry won, Galway won. The way I see it is this: Derry lost two points because every time you play at home, and you are a team like Derry that should run for the title. This is not a point. This is 2 points out of the window. Andrew, how would you
Yeah,
perceive this game?
100%. I agree with you. Like Derry, let's call a spade a spade. They've had an awful start to the season. I think with Derry's owners as well, the amount of money they pumped into the club in the off season for Tiernan Lynch in his first season, the amount of players, international players they brought in. Derry want to compete for the league. They don't want to just rebuild and go for Europe. Derry's owners have set their target and ambitions clear, and that's why they sacked Rory Higgins in the off season, is to go for the league title. And I don't think they'll be very impressed with the start. I think a lot of people were questioning in the off season about Derry's incomings. The likes of Liam Boyce, and they've signed a lot of other players. Holt off Dundee. They brought in a lot of players. I could name 5, 6 they've brought in, and like a lot of people were questioning why are they going for players over the age of 30, and it's to win in the short term. But I don't think it's a model that's going to pay off at Derry, and I think Derry at the Brandywell, as you said, I agree with you. Like, I know Galway are a very strong side. John Caulfield lines them up fantastically every week. But Derry will feel that's 2 points short. Like, Derry are in the bottom 2 after 5 games. Like, as I said, they've signed a lot of players. Like, I think they've signed players 33 and 34 years of age. It's crazy. It's crazy. For a man like Tiernan Lynch coming in from the Northern Irish League into the League of Ireland, Tiernan Lynch is a man that, like, looked down on the League of Ireland before he came into it, and I think he's really seen after 5 games like how tough it is. And I don't think Derry are going to have a great season. Maybe the players will gel and get into it, and they'll, like, I still expect Derry to finish in the top 5 now, but for their standards and their ambitions, it's not really great, is it, to be honest?
Yeah, 100%. And John is just echoing your comments, saying most of the players that join Derry, they are towards the end of their career. So probably that's not a good strategy. Cornell, how do you see Derry's recruitment plan at the beginning of the season?
I think the way that I see it is that obviously Derry City were ambitious before the start of the season. They looked at the Derry City team and the squad, and they wanted to replace certain players, and they wanted to bring in experience that could really help the team challenge for the League of Ireland title. But I think since the new season is kicked on now, we've obviously seen that maybe Derry has overspent too much, and you've kind of like thinking, well, why haven't they bought young players, like who could really make a huge impact in the Derry City team instead of bringing in experienced players? Yes, Liam Boyce hasn't really got as kicking as we expected him to do. And then you've got Shane Ferguson, who obviously we all thought who's coming to the end of his career. Then you've got other players as well, like obviously, you've got Robbie Benson in there, you've got Don Thomas in there as well, who's also, is another experienced player. So I think that's where we're thinking, well, I can understand where Tiernan Lynch is doing and what he wants to do. He wants to make Derry City the team that we all expect them to be, favourites in the League of Ireland title race. But then it's about bringing not just only experience who are over 30s or upwards. It's about bringing young players, recruiting young players from the youth squad and bringing them into the first team and trying them out, and then playing them alongside the experienced ones to help the young players, develop and improve. So I think obviously Tiernan Lynch obviously knows what he wants to do, knows what type of style of play he wants to do. But I think if you really look at the recruitment plan, you're kind of thinking, well, has he gone overboard with bringing in experienced players and older players? Maybe he's done that. We're not so sure. So I think it'd be very interesting to see. But I think maybe top 5, as Andrew said, I can probably see them finishing come from now to the end of the season.
Right. So that result broke my heart as a Cork fan. I have to say, and there was a lot of noise around the game. Now I watched the highlights. I think Cork City have reasons to be upset with the referee. Maybe not all the decisions that people were going mad about it. They have reasons to be that mad, but for sure the officials influenced the score. At least in my opinion. But guys, you are neutral, so I leave up to you to see it from your angles. I keep the ball with you, Cornell.
Yeah, sure. Cork City and Sligo Rovers drawing. Big, massive game. Obviously, brilliant game to watch. Cork City thought they would realistically go on and win the game. And look, Cork City. I always said that I think will be definitely favourites to stay up this season. And as long as Rory Keating and Sean Maguire gets on the goals, and then obviously very, very soon we'll see Cathal O'Sullivan really be the next big thing, of course. And Greg Bolger as well has been very, very phenomenal in the Cork City midfield. But Galway United, they are a very, very good side. When you got Dyer in your team, it's very, very difficult. And he knows how to score goals and put goals away. Yes, of course, coming from the Canadian League is not that simple. It's not that easy, and then it takes time for you to really adapt to playing in the League of Ireland as well. But like I said, I think Cork City will be very, very disappointed that they drew the game, and they will be very disappointed that they didn't go on and get 3 points out of it. But I do think that Cork City will go on and kick on with their season and get some results, in the bag.
And here you have John, who is not exactly a Cork City fan, recognizing that the referees were not in Turner's Cross favor. How do you see it, Andrew?
Yeah, I've seen the highlights myself. Obviously, I predicted at the start of the season, I predicted Cork and Sligo to be towards the bottom. I actually predicted Cork to finish last, believe it or not. And I still think Cork will go down. Unfortunately for yourself, Vitor, I think Cork will still go down. But yeah, I watched the highlights back. Sligo, obviously coming off a big win against Sean Rovers on the Monday. They haven't had the greatest start to the season ever. They've lost so many big players, so many. The likes of Simon Power, Ellis Chapman, and hasn't really gelled well for them, the recruitment they've brought in. But they started to pick up big points for them, which is huge. And for Cork City, I think, seeing some of the penalty calls, they were very, very bad. They, in fairness, Cork fans had right to complain. But I don't think a draw is the worst in the world. It is the worst result in the world for Cork. I know Cork fans were complaining a lot, but I think every point Cork get this season, because I still back Cork to finish last, as I've said. They don't have a decent team. Tim Clancy, as a manager, personally, I've seen him manage a patch for a few years. I don't really rate him myself as a manager. I know Cork fans will probably beg to differ. He won the league with them last season. Recruited kind of well this season. Brought back the likes of Sean Maguire, Rory Keating. Carlos Sullivan came into the fold. And that's a good front three right there. But I don't know. I can't see Cork staying up. But I think as a neutral, I think it's a good result for Cork. For Sligo, I think Sligo probably would have wanted to get down there and win. But no, I think points are not the end of the world for both teams, personally. Yeah, so
we have here Dave, who is also a massive Cork City fan, and he wrote, Cork City are also the walking wounded. They have been so close in each game to breaking something open. Where do you think they would currently stand if they had been healthy? Still bottom, Andrew, or there will be any change if they'll be healthy?
No, in fairness, Cork had a good start to the season. I'm not disputing that. They drew Galway first game. Galway are a very good team. I'm beating Bows as well. And they lost to Waterford. Waterford were going well. And then obviously their game against Rovers that was called off. And then a point against Sligo. So it could have been a lot worse. I didn't expect Cork to be anywhere near the levels they're at. Personally, but I don't know. In a few games, I think the Shamrock Rovers game being called off for them was very poor, because Rovers were just coming back from Europe, and I think Cork probably would have went up to Talon, probably would have ended up getting a result, to be honest. Waterford was a bit of a mad one. They got the sending off, which I disagreed, to be honest, and Tim Clancy had a fair point. I seen the sending off, it wasn't. They obviously lost that game, but yeah, they probably feel and are right to be felt harshly done after the Waterford game and after the Sligo game there on Friday. So I don't feel for Cork fans, but I can definitely see their point of view where they're coming from 100%.
Yeah. I think the main issue with Cork is that the team is very emotional, and when they are winning, they forget that there are still I don't know 60 minutes for the rest of the game, and they don't know how to deal with pressure, which is something that I think the manager should be able to handle. How do you see it, Cornell? Let's say if they'll be healthy, maybe Cork will be a bit further in the table.
Yeah, I think if they had a healthy fit squad, I think they would have been definitely be in the Europe in places in the top 5, top 4, obviously. But I think with the injuries that they have in their squad, then it's very very difficult. I think their best player this start of the new season has been Greg Bolger. I think he's been very very crucial to Cork City's midfield, and that's the reason when he's in that team, then they've always operated well in that midfield. And I think losing him, I think, is very, very difficult for Cork City right now. And now the whole pressure is more on Rory Keating and Sean Maguire to really get the goals. But I think, as I say, I think once they get their their fit, healthy squad back from injury, I think they'll definitely be up there. I don't see them being relegated this season because that would be absolutely ridiculous, because they worked very very hard in the first division last season to win it and to come back, and it's they did that with very hard work and determination, and I can definitely see Cork City really being in the top 5 with their with a healthy team very very soon as you know it. But look, yeah, it's not nice to see Cork City in an unhealthy position, which it sucks, but I do believe that Cork City have the firepower to still stay up this season and be up there.
We can see now that John agrees with you, Cornell. He doesn't foresee Cork being back to the graveyard, and it really depends on Sean Maguire. If Sean Maguire is in shape and he's scoring goals on a regular basis, then Cork will remain. When it comes to Sligo, they will be relegated. There's a question for you, Andrew, coming from Connor Barry. What do you think of the injuries plaguing the camp? Many key players missing, leading paths to struggle to an extent after being a bookless favourite to win the league.
Yeah, 100%. Injuries, 100%. I agree with you, Connor. It's something I made very clear after last week. I think I can name Jamie Lennon's out till the end of April. You've Ramal Palmer, who came out today. He's set to miss most of the season, and he's a crucial player for Pats. Forrester and Breslin went off injured last week, which is crazy. Keane Levy is out for 3 months. Ryan McLaughlin's out injured. So there's 6 or 7 players, and we only have 2 fully fit midfielders, I think, for tomorrow, and we've 6 midfielders. It's crazy. I think we've been hit badly by injuries, and obviously we were the bookies favourite to win the league, obviously after the end of last season, 9 wins in a row. And it's disturbing us. I personally, myself, I thought we'd have it and we'd go on and win the league this season. I was still back Pats personally to go on and win the league. But Jamie Lennon's the best number 6 in the league, and missing him in a crucial part, not crucial part, but he's missed the last couple of games, which have kind of affected our results, you know what I mean? And we've been missing him big time. Keane Levy's a great, very agile player, very good player in the midfield. Likes breaking the lines, getting at defenders is what you need. Forrester missed the start of the season as well. So yeah, it's not ideal at the moment. It's not ideal. I think Sean Hoare comes back into the squad tomorrow for the Bowls game. It's a big boost at centre half. So it's nice to have him back, and yeah, hopefully we get the others back soon. But yeah, I agree. Unfortunately, injuries are plaguing that, and you can't use that as an excuse for everything, every result. But it definitely does have a factor in some results, I think, so far for Pats.
There's another question here. Is Brandon Kavanagh likely to start tomorrow? It's coming from Soil Creep.
For St. Pat's, see, Brandon Kavanagh, he hasn't started the past few games. I don't know. I personally, myself, I probably would start him tomorrow over Mason Amelia. If Kenny decides to go to 4-2-3-1, I would start him in the 10 ahead of Amelia, 100%. Yeah, I wouldn't say he's likely. I don't know. It's 50-50. I think it's genuinely 50-50. I don't think Melia played great last week against Shamrock Rovers. So I'd personally start Brandon Kavanagh tomorrow, myself personally.
Okay, just before we go to next weekend games, there was a Dublin derby last weekend. Shamrock Badways needed this victory. They managed. It was not a massive victory, but it was 3 points. So that's what counts, isn't it, Cornell?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Shamrock Rovers were desperately wanting to beat St. Pat's and wanted to get the result out of the way. Obviously Danny Grant does what he always does. Is really contributing, scoring goals. Matt Healy, best midfielder by a mile this since coming to and signing for Shamrock Rovers. And for me, obviously, I think to be honest, I mean, St. Pat's tried to get into the game and they tried to do what they do best. But I mean, Shamrock Rovers, obviously their season hasn't been that great, obviously, of a lack of a striker and lack of a winger, obviously, and lack of midfielder. But obviously, they were on top. They showed why they are the quality team that they are and why they want to be in and around the top two this season and really be challenging for their 5th consecutive League of Ireland title. But look, for me, Matt Healy is just showing the class and quality of how he can really contribute and really play his quality, outstanding football. But brilliant, fantastic goal from Danny Grant.
Andrew, that was not the result you were desiring.
No, definitely wasn't. I would have taken the draw before the game if you would have asked me. And I thought overall it was an even enough game. I don't think there was much between the teams. I think both teams would have probably been happy with a draw. Rovers, in fairness, there was a big 3 points for them. They needed to win the game, and they did. Danny Rand scored a good goal. I think it was too easy from Pat's perspective, running through midfield. Someone should have taken him down. Couldn't believe it when I went in. I was like, fucking hell, because Pats were on top at that stage as well. Pats were pinning them in, and we're keeping the ball well. Had a big few chances. Mealy hit the bar in the first half, which he should have scored. Keena had a chance in the second half. Great ball by Forrester. Tried going around the keeper. Probably should have hit it first time. And then I think with 10 minutes to go, Keena on the half turn blasted it wide. It was a chance, a big chance to level the game. But no, Rovers got the win, of course, which they needed. For Pats, it wasn't great. There was a big penalty shout at the end. I think it was a push by Pico Lopez on Axel Stauberger. Now, I know a lot of Pats fans were thinking that was a penalty, or I personally didn't think there was enough in it for a penalty. A lot of people were complaining about the ref, but I think, you just got to swallow your medicine and just say fair play Rovers and win the game. An even enough game. I think you couldn't have complained if it was a draw, personally. But yeah, as I said, plenty of football to be played. So I don't think results this early on are going to determine how teams finish. I do think Rovers will definitely be up there challenging for the league title. Obviously, a lot of question marks on how should they have signed another striker, relying on Michael Noonan, but they've tied down Rory Gaffney again. If they manage to keep him injury free, that'd be great for them. So yeah, overall I was disappointed leaving the ground last week, but on the bright side, there's plenty of football to be played.
So the two teams that lifted the trophies last year, they played against each other, and Drogheda they're in a very good shape, and they managed to leave Toka Park with 3 points. So these are massive 3 points. How do you see it, Andrew?
Yeah, in fairness, what a start to the season for Drogheda. Undefeated after 5 games. Obviously, first game of the season they came to Inchicore, sat in, defended unreal, 3-0 all. Looking back at that, seems like a good point for Pats. I was fuming leaving the ground after we dropped points to them, but looking back, it might be a good point. But no, fair play. Kevin Doherty he's doing a superb job. Obviously, win the cup last season, staying up, and now the top of the league after 5 games, undefeated, rocking up to Talca Park and doing them and got on top of the league. Crazy. Yeah, they've started off very well. Drew Galway, trying to think of their other results. Beat Bows away as well, so it's fair play. Started off excellently. Warren Davis, what a goal. Wow. I think from Shell's point of view, they'll be very disappointed. Don't think they created too much, and I think Shells will definitely have ambition to go on and win the league again. And for Drogheda, they're just in dreamland at the moment. Like, they wouldn't believe the start of the season if you asked them it. And yeah, who knows? The sky's the limit for Drogheda at the moment, and especially fair play to Kevin Doherty. I think he's a great manager, and he's done a fantastic job there. And yeah, it was probably the shock of the week. Drogheda rocking up to Talcott Park and beating them.
Yeah, so the Drogheda, they could have been relegated last year, and all of a sudden they are on the top of the league after a few games. How do you think, Cornell, that is? How do you think his atmosphere on the dressing room in Drogheda?
I think the atmosphere in Drogheda, I think obviously is very surprising, because I think we were all surprised to see that Drogheda was gonna go into this game believing that they can really cause an upset against one of the best teams in the league this season and last season as well. I don't think Shelbourne wasn't expecting that at all, because they were expecting to go into this game believing that they could go on and be undefeated. But I've always said you can't underestimate how fantastic underdog teams like Drogheda has been this from last season to this season. And I think you look at their squad now, and you look at how well Keith Doherty has done. You could clearly see how the hard work he has done, and he's got the very best out of the Drogheda players. And Darren Markey always never seems to disappoint. Being the very critical key player of that of Drogheda United's attacking midfield. And obviously, yes, I think obviously missing James Taylor is a big thing, but I think they've shown that they can cope without him and his goals. But you've got Thomas Olowa, who's obviously going to score a lot of goals this season. He's going to be one to look out for. And you've got Luke Denilson with 4 clean sheets in 5 appearances, who obviously has been absolutely on top of his game as one of the best young goalkeepers as there is. And I think you can clearly see, I think the more games that they can go on and win, and they can go on and really go on a fantastic run, I think they'll be favourites to really be up there this season. So big up Drogheda United for how they're doing and how well they're playing.
Okay, so those were the games from last weekend. Just before we move to this weekend, just a couple of words about the first division. So we don't go in detail. We don't go game by game, but just an overview. Anything you want to call out? Any highlight? Andrew, anything in your mind about the first division that you want to share with the public?
Yeah, I think Dundalk, obviously top of the league after a few games. My game, Dundalk Treaty, was probably the highlight game of the first division last week. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Treaty coming back 2 goals in the last 5 minutes to level the game, crazy. It seemed like a mad game. But no, Dundalk started season off fantastic. Kieran Kilduff, I think they've definitely been a standout team after the first few games, and yeah, they're looking good in terms of winning the first division and getting straight back up into the League of Ireland, which I think they probably will go on and do. But yeah, I think Treaty have had a fantastic start as well to the league, and yeah, I haven't been personally keeping an eye on the first division. I've been keeping an eye on results, but haven't really been watching highlights, seeing how teams are doing. I know at loan they've been a bit disappointing so far. They've brought in a load of good players. So like J.R. Wilson from Sligo, Caelan Barlow as well from Sligo. They brought in a few big players, and they're near the bottom after the first 5 games. I don't think it'd be the ambition they would have wanted. But yeah, Lee Devitt, I 100% agree. He's been very good for Treaty so far. And I know Lee personally as well. Went over to Liverpool a good few times with him. He's a gent. He's started off very well with Treaty this season. Always, as I said, it's gone big goals. It's crazy. And no, fair play Treaty starting off the season well.
Yeah, I think other than Dundalk, Cove and Bray, they are catching up. So they might be on the dispute for the first 2 places, Cornell.
Yeah, I don't rule out Cove Wanderers as yet. Obviously, as Andrew said, Treaty United have just been on absolute brilliant form this season. They've shown that they want to be in and around the automatics to go on and really go in and have a taste of playing in the Premier Division next season. Lee Deverett has just been an absolute player that I don't believe that. I think everybody will know that he is one of the best players, this season for Treaty United. And I think best player in the League of Ireland and absolute quality. And I think if he carries on playing the way he's playing, I think Treaty United, and I think a lot of clubs will be looking at Lee Deverett to really for him to go further and play even more higher. But honestly, look, Dundalk, yeah, they're on the run for a reason. They are where they are because their ambition is to get back into the Premier Division. You've got to understand, obviously, you've got Kerry FC, who obviously, who also was on a very good run as well, but things haven't gone the way they expected. But, as I say, I think if you're looking at possible favourites Dundalk will go on and win the first division, of course, but we can't underestimate the likes of Bray Wanderers, and we can't underestimate the likes of Cold Wanderers as well. They are going to be ones that will be favourite, and along with Treaty United as well.
Yeah, and talking about Treaty, John is saying the doubt I have about Treaty this year is how long we can keep this run going for. Was similar last year, went 5 games unbeaten and then we collapsed. Cannot let that happen again. So hope they learned the lesson, but time will tell. So let's put the table, the Premier Division table on the screen. And how can I do this? No, sorry. Okay. Yeah, here it is. It's better like this. So as it stands, no, that's not much.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Yeah, no, sorry, I don't have it at the moment. Okay, we'll leave it for next time. My bad. Yeah, it's also much free. Let's move to next weekend games. Yeah. So which one we want to start with? Yeah, Shelbourne Cork. What's your prediction, Andrew, for this one? So Cork is under pressure. Shelbourne, I think it's also under pressure after losing at home with Drogheda. So a lot of emotion.
It's a big enough definitely, yeah, it's a big enough game for both teams. I think. I think it's a game which will really prove where Cork are as a football team in the league at the moment. Shells definitely looking to bounce back from the loss to Drogheda last week, and I personally can't see Shells going dropping points 2 games in a row this early on the season. For Cork, I don't know. I can't really see them going up to talk and getting something, but I could be completely wrong. I expect Shells to beat them comfortably. I don't know. I think it'll be a tight enough game. I think Shells will edge it out by a goal to 0.
Yeah. Would you agree with that, or do you think Cork has hope for tomorrow, Cornell?
I think Cork will have hope that they can cause an upset towards Shelbourne, but I believe that Shelbourne will be up for this game because they lost their game last week to Drogheda, and they'll want to expect to go into this game believing that they can go on and beat Cork City and really retain back their unbeaten run that they've already started this season. Look, I think Cork City will go into this game believing that they can go on and get 3 points out of it, of course. I mean, despite drawing their previous game against Galway United. But look, I think this is Shelbourne's game to basically really win the game, of course. And then you've got Paddy Barrett as well, who's got the most duels with 399, obviously. So it is very, very interesting to see how well Shelbourne has done this season. I mean, obviously, for them to be unbeaten before they lost their first game, it shows that Shelbourne are a very, very good side. But look, let's not underestimate Cork City right now because they'll be eager to obviously go on and win. But I think this is definitely Shelbourne's to win, and I think Damien Duff will look at this and say, "Look, we lost the game last week to Drogheda. We have to go into this game against Cork City and really put that bad disappointment of a defeat behind them and really kick on with the season and carry on to go on and retain their League of Ireland title come the end from now for the end of the season."
Yeah, I don't want to let down my Cork City level fans, but I have the same thoughts as you guys, so I'm going to be realistic about it. I'll be very happy if we leave the field with a draw tomorrow. I'll be already happy, But we'll see. John is saying agree with Andrew. We'll see what Cork are about tomorrow night. That will be eager to put last week's disappointment behind them and put out a statement. I think they will win, but it won't be that easy. That's my
No, definitely. No game in the league is easy.
Yeah. Good point. What else we have here? That's for me a very interesting one. I cannot put money on this game. Galway, Waterford, anything can happen. I expect a lot of goals, and can be a 2-1 for Galway, can be 3-2 for Waterford, can be a 3-3. Everything is possible. Andrew.
Yeah, big time. Galway, Waterford, obviously two teams that recently came up to the league. Galway, mad enough start to the season, 4 draws and a win. The win obviously over St. Patrick's at home. So they're unbeaten in 5 games. Waterford obviously had a decent start, barring last week. I think Bowes once off. Waterford, like last season, started the season off absolutely fantastically. And they started, I exceeded my expectations for how they started off so far. And I think DC Park, it's such a tough place to go for any team, especially the Dublin clubs and the likes of Waterford. Every team in the league hates going up to DC Park and Galway. And I think it's going to be a tough enough game for Waterford. Galway obviously drew last week against Derry. Probably a bit unlucky to not win the game. Derry probably feel the same. But no, I think Galway would be going into the game looking to win the game 100%. I think every team Galway play at home, they'll look to win the game. The likes of Patrick Hickey's in fantastic form. Stephen Walsh, Killian Bruder, they have a good spine there in that team, and they're such a tough team to play against. Like, it's such a tough team. And I fancy Galway tomorrow over Waterford up in the DC Park, but wouldn't write Waterford off either with the start they've had. But I reckon it'll be very tight and close game. Yeah, I'm gonna go 2-1 for Galway tomorrow evening in DC Park.
Is that a favorite, Cornell, or it's totally unpredictable?
I wouldn't rule out Waterford as yet. I mean, they are still underdogs, and they'll give 100% effort in this game against Galway United tomorrow. But the way that Galway United have been playing this season, I think it's very impossible to put it past them. So I definitely can see Galway United winning this one.
Yeah, we move now to the team at the top of the table, who will be playing with Shamrock. It's also very difficult to see who's going to be the happy one after 90 minutes. Drogheda is very motivated, but Shamrock cannot afford to lose again, Cornell.
No, they can't. They have to keep their heads in the game, and they have to go into this game with the same winning mentality that they had, last week and, against St. Pat's. And, obviously, look, Shamrock Rovers obviously know who will be key in their squad. Matt Healy, of course, as I mentioned, best midfielder in the business right now since he signed. I'll be very interested to see who Stephen Bradley lines up, at the back and in midfield and up front and on the wing. Obviously, I think Michael Noonan's going to be very key in this game, and of course, he's going to really try and get the goals for Shamrock Rovers. But I think it's keeping that winning mentality and really knowing your best 11. I mean, not saying that Stephen Bradley doesn't know his best 11, he does. But I think, especially with the injuries that are circulating in Shamrock Rovers' team at the moment, with Mandroy being out and so on, then it is very, very difficult. But I think as long as they can keep, Matt Healy and Danny Grant, and Graham Burke at their very best, and Aaron McNenniff at their very best, I think they've got no problems, realistically, winning this game tomorrow and against Drogheda. But like I said, Drogheda are on fire at the moment. They are absolutely on a roll, and they are the underdogs, and they're going to go in this game and they're going to think, you know what? Look, why can't they do cause an upset? Why can't they? They've got every opportunity for them to do what they have to do. But Shamrock Rovers look likely the team that that really wants to go on and win this game tomorrow. So won't be surprising, but I'm not underestimating Drogheda, but I could definitely see Shamrock Rovers winning.
Would you have the same understanding, Andrew?
Oh, I disagree. I think it'd be a very tight game of football. I don't expect Shamrock Rovers to go up and win tomorrow personally. In Hednagan Park, it's been a bit of a what's the word? Anytime Rovers went up to Drogheda, I think their record up there isn't great. The past few years, they won there towards the back end of last season, yeah, but they seem to struggle a lot up at Lamb. I don't know what stadium's called. They change the name every year, but I'm just going to call it United Park because that's what I'm used to calling it. But again, Drogheda have had a fantastic start to the season. The likes of Luke Dennison in goal, Conor Keeley's been absolutely one of the players of the season so far at the first few games at the back. Shane Farrell in midfield, the likes of Darren Markey, very solid. Thomas Holloway at top. And Rovers, I think, like, the start to the season they had is on a similar trajectory to last season. They were very inconsistent at the start of last season, and I think it's the same this season again, isn't it? And it was kind of their enemies of their own downfall last season in that kind of aspect. And I don't expect them to go up and win tomorrow. Personally, I think it'll be. I initially thought Drogheda would do them, but I think has a 1-1 draw written all over it personally. And yeah, I think a point would be a good result for Drogheda. Rovers not so much. They'll be looking to build on beating Pats last week. And yeah, in terms of Rovers, obviously, I don't know what sort of team they will. You don't know if the likes of Michael Newnham. I don't think Michael Newnham will start. Graham Burke, I think, will start alongside Rory Gaffney. I think will come into the fold. I can't. It's such a physical game going up to Drogheda. Can't see Michael Newnham starting. Matt Healy will probably be in midfield, alongside Dylan Watts and Gary O'Neill. So yeah, Rose, they have their squad pretty much fully fit. Obviously have a few players out injured, but I really think even if they had a fully fit squad, they wouldn't be going up to Drogheda and winning either way. And yeah, I think it will be a draw between both teams tomorrow evening.
So for Matt, there's a different understanding of the game. He can foresee Drogheda beating Rovers, and he bases his comments on tradition. So it seems that Rovers always have a bad time when they go up to Drogheda. It's not an easy stadium, I'd say. No, not an easy ground.
No, definitely not. It's the same with Galway. Like, a lot of teams hate going up to Hednagan. Like, I know me as a Pats fan, I hate going up there, to be honest. Last season, we 2-0 draws there. Like, it's such a tough ground to go to. Granted, in previous years, we've been very good there. But, like, no team really likes going Drogheda away. And I think, like, the atmosphere is very good there. Drogheda fans are incredible, in fairness to them. It's such a tough place to go to. And, yeah, I can't see Rovers going myself personally. Getting back-to-back wins tomorrow night. I think a draw is probably the most likely scenario there.
Let's keep the ball with you, Andrew. So you'll be welcoming both to Inchicore.
Big game.
Can do very well, but they can also screw. So how do you see this?
Yeah, it's a big game. It's a big game. Obviously, we've lost last week. I didn't really foresee us being 5th or 6th on the table after 5 games, to be honest. I thought we'd an easy enough start. And like Bows tomorrow, before the international break, it's a huge game personally. For Bows, they'll be looking to go back to back and winning 2 games in a row, which I can't really see happening. For us, I think it's all about just getting the 3 points. I personally won't be happy if we draw tomorrow, or God forbid we lose. But yeah, it's a big game for both teams. I think probably it's on live on Virgin Media tomorrow. It's the biggest game of the week. No, I'm looking forward to it. I think in terms of lineup, I can probably see Barry Bagley, Chris Forrester, and Jay McKellen midfield. I think he'll maybe not. I think he'll probably go to 4-2-3-1 again. Actually, Chris Forrester and Barry Bagley as kind of the 2 number 8s kind of, and I think Brandon Kavanagh coming from Mason Amelia in the attack, alongside Mulroney, Elbazetti, and Aidan Keena. And I think that's enough to hurt Bows. That kind of foundation there, the spine of the team, is enough to hurt that Bows defence. Granted, Bows have a very good midfield. I think Bows is the best midfield in the league. So it certainly will make for an interesting contest tomorrow evening. Bows have a very good attack as well. the likes of your Colin Whelan, who's in great form. But I think Pats defensively are sound enough. And I think Pats are going to edge it tomorrow evening. And personally, the only reason I'm not kind of backing Bows, I think Bows will get a result tomorrow, because I can't really see Bows going and winning 2 games in a row. They're kind of that team. One week they'll win a game comfortably enough, and then another week, as I said earlier on, they're going to lose again. So I'm going to go back Pats by 2-1. But again, it wouldn't surprise me if it's a draw as well, personally. I'm going to go Pats to win by 2-1. Aidan Keena to get both goals for St. Patrick's Athletic.
Cornell, are we going to see the best or the worst of both tomorrow?
I think we could see the worst of both, to be honest. Obviously, with the form that they're not in at this present moment, I think really will be very interesting and very surprising, because obviously I think St. Pat's will be too strong for them. Aidan McKenna, obviously, who just completely has just really been a constant goal threat with 5 goals this season, 9 of the most shots on target this season. There's no stopping Aidan McKinnon, really, to be honest, and there's no stopping St. Pat. So I think Bohemians. I think this could be the worst of Bohemians to come, and then obviously with the hype around Mose as well too, I think is also a talking point as well. But I think for me, I think Stephen Kenny, I think will go with 4-2-3-1. Obviously, I think he will. I think obviously Barry Bagley and Chris Forrester are definitely going to be playing in that midfield. Yeah, of course they've got injury problems in their team, but they've found ways to make sure that they can get the results and get the job done. So I think there's another Aidan McKenna brace coming, and obviously congratulations to him on winning the Player of the Month, for the new season. And I think he's well deserved. And this is why I said we're seeing the very best of Aidan McKenna this season. But I think for me, it's St. Pat's win all the way.
Dave is just provoking you, Andrew.
Please no. That Sligo game a few weeks ago took 20 years off my life, the 4-3 game. So hopefully no more high-scoring games, but it wouldn't surprise me with how many goals we're scoring at the moment. And then defensively, we look a bit suspect as well sometimes. So who knows? It could be another game for the ages tomorrow at Richmond Park.
Yeah. Last one we have is Sligo Derry. Yeah, that's also difficult to predict. Like most of games, no. To be honest, there's no such thing as a favorite, in any of the games.
That's it. That's why the league's so great. In my opinion, like that's why everyone loves the league. Even if people like from other countries getting interested in the league and seeing stuff, like it's crazy. It's great, the unpredictability of the league. And again, another game, Sligo and Derry. A lot of people would probably favour Derry tomorrow, or it's not tomorrow. I think it's Saturday evening the game. But Sligo have an unbelievable record against Derry, especially at the showgrounds. Derry, the start they've had to the season, haven't been great. Let's be real. Everyone kind of knows that. Sligo, I picked up 4 points from their last 2, which is big enough. They needed the points to get on the board ASAP because they didn't have a great start to the season. And I'm going to probably go against what a few people are expecting. I'm going to go Sligo to beat Derry on Saturday. Personally, I think Sligo are going to beat Derry. And I think the likes of Elding, great player for Sligo, one of the key players, Conor Malley in midfield, and Sligo with the showgrounds against Derry. I think just always the Sligo win written all over. I cannot see in anywhere else. Now, I could be bookmarked and by Derry fans laugh that Derry could rock up to the showgrounds on Saturday and probably beat them. I can't see a world where that happens just because how bad their record is and how poor they started the season. Derry, I think, badly need a win Saturday. It's huge for Derry. They need to win that game 100%. But Sligo, I can see them getting another win on the board and winning that game with 2-1.
Yeah, I have the same prediction for tomorrow. I think Sligo will be very happy at the end. Would you agree with the two of us, or do you want to go a different route, Cornell?
I agree. I think Sligo Rovers will be very favourite going into this game. I mean, Derry City, obviously, I think with what's been going on with Tian Lynch and the squad and obviously with the experienced players that they have in the team, then I think it's going to go in Sligo's hands. And they are, I mean, their form has been fantastically well this new season, but I think I can definitely see Saloga Rovers winning it, especially when you got Conor Madley in your team, and obviously you got Fitzgerald, who's obviously dominating in the most assists this season. But again, I can just see Saloga Rovers winning this one, and obviously Derry's record against Saloga really speaks for itself. Hasn't really been that great, but I definitely see Saloga Rovers winning against Derry City tomorrow.
Hey, we have Matt here sharing a couple of insights from Shell's bug gun around the squad. Multi people could be out, so that's something
big,
to
if
impact
true.
again.
Yeah, if true, that's big for Cork. I don't know how true that is. Have to look on Twitter, etc. See if there's that on that. But that's big for Cork if true. If there's a bug going around the camp for Shells.
Yeah. Okay, just a couple of minutes to discuss the Ireland game next Thursday. We'll be here before the game, but it's no harm to talk about it. And we have a comment from John. I just need to find the comments. Any thoughts on the Irish national team announcement today? Josh, or I don't know how to pronounce his name, Honoan should feel hard done by looking at the midfielder as well as John, Joe, Patrick Finn. Andrew, anything on this?
I agree. I wasn't really very happy with some of the selections Heimer Halgremus made today to the Ireland squad. I think Josh Honohan, 100% I agree with. I can't remember who commented that, but Honohan is a fantastic fullback. And last season, and even in Europe this season, he showed how good he is. And I think he's rightly robbed of a spot in the Ireland international squad. John Joe Patrick Finn as well, he's done well in the French league. So far this season, young up and coming midfielder, and Heimer's just call up the same midfielders. Ireland's midfielders looking so weak. I know it's only Ireland are only playing Bulgaria, who, let's be real, are not a very good team at all. You could probably say the same about Ireland at the moment as well. I think the Ireland national squad at the moment is in the worst place it's ever been. Well, in my lifetime anyway. And yeah, like, I am disappointed personally. I was happy enough to see James Banquet called up. Obviously, ex-Pats. He won the Cup with Pats, came through the Pats academy system, coming from Cherry Orchard, and then made the big move to Udinese. I was very happy to see him called up. At least Rocco Vata got called up for the first time as well. I think we have a lot of bright attacking sparks, but I was disappointed to see Josh Honohan left out. I think he definitely should have been called up. And I was disappointed to see Matt Doherty included again. I don't think he deserved his attitude. Robbie Brady is well past it. But I think the squad Ireland have is enough to beat Bulgaria over two legs, and hopefully they get the job done.
Cornell, how do you see? Do you think Irish fans should be concerned with Bulgaria, or they have the skills to get a good result?
I think they have the good skills to get it done, but I think Josh Houlihan not being in the Irish team, I think is just a disgrace for me, because he's proven once and for all that he is the very best in the League of Ireland this season, since the season has started, and I think he should be well deserved to be well hard done by, because I mean, Josh Houlihan has proven that he is the best centre-back in the League of Ireland and in the league. Sinclair Armstrong being in it as well, as I've seen, obviously I think that's a brilliant boost for him. Obviously I think there's been a lot of talk about him being in it as well. Johnny Kenny missing out, obviously I think is a big blow that really, despite that, he's been in and out of Celtic's first team, but Vata being it as well from Watford as well is another thing as well. But I think it'll be I think they've got the squad to compete with Bulgaria and go on and beat Bulgaria in the playoffs. And I think as long as Helgeson can put out his best 11 and his best team, against Bulgaria and get the result done and win both legs in the playoffs, then I think Ireland will be fine.
Yeah. Just going back to the League of Ireland, Matt just confirmed that the news he shared are coming from Shelburne directly. So these are not rumors, and Damien Duff just confirmed. So it's no longer something circulating. It's big for Cork, yeah.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. For shells, not so much, but yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. So yeah, thanks very much for the insights. We'll be here next week again. Probably just for the audience, we'll be here a bit earlier because the game is at 7:45, and we usually start this thing at 7. So maybe we'll start a bit earlier. I don't know, 5:30, 6, but we'll announce it that everyone will know in advance. So all the best, Andrew, for the
Thanks
game
for having
tomorrow.
us on. Appreciate it,
Yeah.
guys. Thanks very much. Hopefully, Pats get the job done tomorrow.
And thanks, Cornell, again.
Thank you very much for having me on. Absolutely amazing. Brilliant, man.
As Dave is saying, no easy games. This league is basically who will be the kings of this chaos.
Says it perfectly.
That's the best way to close it. Yeah. See you next week, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Bye.
Thank you.